Assalamualaikum viewers and welcome back to my channel Biodenverse Hub. Today in the playlist of Neuroanatomy we will be discussing about the corpus callosum. As you all know that corpus callosum, it is a commissure of the brain, and commissures are those structures that serves the function of connection. Hence corpus callosum, it is the largest commissure of the brain. It connects two cerebral hemispheres. Since it connects the neocortex, that is also known as neopallium, of the two sides, it is also called as the neopallial commissure. It is 10 cm long, connecting 150 to 200 millions of fibers. So it was a brief introduction of the corpus callosum. Now we will study the parts of the brain that are connected by it. Corpus callosum connects all the parts of the neocortex of the two cerebral hemispheres except the lower and anterior part of the temporal lobe. Very important point to be noted here. As far as the location is concerned, it lies at the bottom of the longitudinal fissure. In the sagittal section of the cerebrum, it is seen as a C-shaped mass of white fibers on the medial surface of the hemisphere, forming the roof of the lateral ventricle. As you can see in the diagram as well, this diagram will help you to learn and understand it easily, and you can also draw this diagram in your exams as well to achieve good marks. Now, as far the parts of the corpus callosum is concerned, it is divided into the following part. Rostrum, it is thin, downward and backward projection of the genu posteriorly to join the lamina terminalis, and this is known as the rostrum. The genu, it is a thick and curved anterior end of the corpus callosum 4 cm behind the frontal pole. It bends inferiorly in front of the septum pellucidum. It has a body and trunk, which is the main middle part of the corpus callosum between the genu and the splenium. Splenium, it is the body arches posteriorly and it ends as a posterior thickened portion that is known as the splenium, as you can see in the diagram as well, and it is 6 cm behind the occipital pole. Now, as for the fibers of the corpus callosum are concerned, we have the rostrums that connect the two orbital surface of the two frontal lobes. You can see in the diagram as well, we have the rostrum connecting the two orbital surfaces of the two frontal lobe. Then we have the forceps minor, which is made up of the fibers of the genu, and it connects the anterior part of the frontal lobe. Then we have the forceps major. It is made up of the fiber of the splenium and it connects the two occipital lobe. And at last we have the tapetum. Tapetum is formed by some fibers of the trunk and the splenium. It connects the two parietal lobes. It forms the roof and posterior wall of the posterior horn of the lateral ventricle, and it forms the lateral wall and that is the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle. So these were the fibers of the corpus callosum. Now, as the functional significance of the corpus callosum is concerned, corpus callosum is largely responsible for the interhemispheric transfer of information, which is responsible for bilateral responses and in learning process. Absence of corpus callosum or surgical division does not reveal any definite neurosurgical disorder. Only tactile and visual system will reveal any abnormality. Again, an important point to be noted. Now we will move on towards the clinical correlations. So we have a split brain syndrome. It is that if the corpus callosum is absent congenitally or it is sectioned surgically, each cerebral hemisphere becomes isolated and the patient behaves as if he has two brains, a condition that is called as split brain syndrome. So this was the important clinical correlation regarding the corpus callosum. It was all about the corpus callosum, the neuroanatomy of the corpus callosum. I hope this video will be helpful for you all. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so you will get notified about our further videos and updates. Thank you.